All right, you guys, we are back with another question that I get quite often. But before we get into that, my name is Olivia, and I'm one of the therapists here at Sunshine City Counseling. And if you find that you have a question that you would like to ask a therapist, holler at us. Send us a question over at info@sunshinecitycounseling.com. Or if you're in Maine, because we have a new location up there, Eastern Shore Counseling, you can send an email over to info@easternshortcounseling.co. But for today's question, I love this one. It's one of my personal favorites. Do I have to be in therapy for forever? Also, how long is this going to take? I love that because that question usually comes in that free first session. Or in the first kind of full paid, 50-minute session of someone saying, okay. But like, do I have to be here forever? And also, how quickly can you make this go away? Because I'm trying to wrap this up. And I think underneath that question is this sense that this is super uncomfortable and I don't want to have to feel uncomfortable for a really long time. And so can you speed this process along? Also, I think inherent in that question is this this belief that I somehow have a magic wand or pill, or just by hanging out with me, you're automatically going to feel so much better. And that's often not the case. I often tell people, I'm like, you might feel really terrible in the beginning part of therapy because it's like you're waking up to more of who you are and becoming more aware of all the wreckage. And you're like, oh my gosh. And you're feeling all kinds of things because of that, right? So do you have to be in therapy for forever? No. No, you don't. Do you have to be in therapy at all? Technically, the answer would be no, because you are a grown person and you can make that choice for yourself. But if you're like, I do want to be in therapy and I do choose that for myself, do I then have to be in therapy forever? The answer would be no. Like we tell everyone here at Sunshine City Counseling that actually we would not be doing our jobs if you are still hanging out with me years down the line. Now, that doesn't mean though that you are doing something wrong if you find yourself in and out of therapy for the rest of your life or for long seasons of your life, right? Because depending on the situation and what brings you into therapy initially, that can take some time to resolve. I mean, I remember when I first went to therapy, I was in therapy consistently and actively for over a year and a half. And then we started backing down from weekly to bi-weekly, and then from bi-weekly to monthly, and then monthly to quarterly, and then just kind of as needed. And that's what we firmly believe at Sunshine City Counseling is we want to help you gain tools and awareness and access more of yourself, because you're not going to we don't do life together. You come to me for help and I'm going to help you achieve those things. But then you're going to go out and do that on your own. You're going to go live your life, right? And I'm not going to go anywhere, and so you can always kind of come back. But there might be certain seasons in which that you need more guidance and support from a counselor versus other seasons of life. And so, do you need to be in therapy consistently for forever? No. Do I think, though, that it would be helpful to be aware and to be curious about times in which that you might actually need help? Versus other seasons where you're like, you know what, I feel pretty good. I feel like I know how to ride the waves and I know how to manage these things. So I'm going to go and do that. Yeah, totally. Also, the second part of that question is how long is it going to take? I don't know. Some people find that after consistent therapy weekly of 3 to 6 months that they can kind of resolve some of their issues. And so they go down to once a month. Great. A lot of people, though, find that once we kind of get going, whether it's weekly or every other week, that 6 months in, they're just kind of scratching the surface. Because again, it takes a long time. It can. For the majority of people to get comfortable with the uncomfortableness that often is elicited in counseling and in therapy, to start to be really honest. Because here's the deal, we can be really manipulative as human beings, and who more so than even ourselves. And so that self-deception, that not being honest, that I don't want to tell her or him like really how I feel. I'm just gonna like pat it a little bit. It can take a while to feel really comfortable and like okay hanging out in that painful, kind of uncomfortable space. And so it can take a year of consistent therapy. So I don't know how long, therapy is going to take for you. But I would challenge you that if you are already looking for it to be over before it begins, it probably is not going to serve you in the way in which that you really want it to. And to be curious about why are you so quick to get through this? Because here's the real talk. You have spent years, definitely months, but most likely years, perhaps decades, recreating and creating the kinds of patterns that you have now deemed as toxic or unhealthy or unhelpful or harmful or hurtful. It's going to take longer than 3 minutes or 3 months, possibly, to begin to understand those patterns and to begin to do something different. So it took you a whole long time to get here. It's going to take you a hot minute to get out. So again, being curious about why am I so quick to move through this? It's uncomfortable. I don't want to be here. Cool, I get that. That makes sense. We don't got to go fast. We're just hanging out. So how long is therapy going to take? TBD. That's a good answer. Do I need to be in therapy for forever? No. But you probably will need to be in some form of therapy at different seasons of your life, and that is okay. There will also be other seasons of your life where you will learn, with the help of a good therapist, how to manage those things for yourself, how to ride those waves, because here's the thing. As therapists, I can't take away the waves. It's going to happen. It's life. But what I can teach you is how to ask for help, how to know when to get help, and how to manage and ride and react to those waves. So to that end, that's what we're doing here at Sunshine City Counseling and at Eastern Shore Counseling in Portland, Maine. So if you are curious to learn more, you can head to our websites. You can book a free session at either one at sunshinecitycounseling.com or easternshorecounseling.co. But either way, we would love to hear from you and hope this has been helpful. And again, shoot us some questions, send them in, and we'll get to them here in the coming weeks. But until then, see you guys soon. Bye.